Welcome back to another episode of Outdoor Chef Life. I'm Taku, and I hope you guys been following along on our Alaska journey because it's been awesome so far, and it's about to get even better. Today, we left Anchorage in the Kenai Peninsula area, and we're heading north towards Fairbanks. But along the way, I stopped by a river because I heard there was some king salmon running, and I got myself a nice one. Today, I'm using roe as bait, and there was a few other people using roe as well, and some people using spinners. So I get to the river and there's probably about 10 people fishing on the river, but everybody's fairly spaced out. So I situate myself in between these two bushes because there's nobody there, and I get into the water and I start casting. I'm using my Okuma 99 Guy Select Pro medium action along with the ITX 4000, also from Okuma, and this is the perfect setup for this kind of fishing. Nice bobber fishing on the river. It's just the perfect length and the perfect size reel. I'm using roe on the hook, and I'm just letting it drift slowly along the river downstream. As I do, same thing with steelhead, and you can also use that technique for salmon as well. And I know somebody's gonna ask, so I'm gonna say it right now. I'm using gloves because I'm using roe, and the roe is really sticky on your fingers, and it gets all over the rod, all over the reel, so the gloves kind of help. So on my very third cast, I'm reeling slowly, and I see a little tick of the bobber, and I just reel real quick, and then boom, I feel a fish on there. It's a fish on. I got one. And this fish doesn't feel too heavy at first, but then all of a sudden it turns and makes a run upstream, and big fish go upstream. And it just starts peeling line, and I'm tightening the drag, and then it peels even more line, just keeps going. And I'm like, uh-oh, there's other people fishing on my right side upstream. So I tell them, hey, I got a fish on over here. So hopefully, I don't tangle up with them and they can reel up their lines. And this fish just keeps going up, up, up. And I just go wade into the water a little bit more just to avoid that bush on my right, because it's just gonna wrap me around there. And it keeps going up, and I'm like, I gotta turn this guy. I gotta turn him. Trying to turn his head downstream and bring him back down. But it's fighting pretty good. So the whole time I'm like, oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. And finally I get him to kind of turn his head, and it starts heading downstream. And it's coming down, it's coming down. Still fighting though. And at this point, it's getting pretty close to me, and I kind of see a little bit of the fish. I'm like, yep, that's a good one. And I asked the guys on the river that were upstream, hey, anybody have a net? And they were kind of just laughed, and they were like, no, nobody's got a net. You're on your own there. And I was like, all right, no problem. It's all good. And then so I just work my way downstream a little bit along with the fish, and there's this little section that I can probably land him. So I start kind of coaxing him towards that shoreline, the riverbank. Fish isn't giving up too easily, but eventually I'm able to bring him towards the shore, and there's two big boulders, and I get him right in between the boulders there, and there's like a nice pool, a riverbank, so I'm able to kind of just push him towards shore, towards the bank, and beach him, grab it, and boom, there it is. There you have it. It's my first king salmon in Alaska, and it's a really good one. And look at that hook set right in front of its mouth. Wasn't going anywhere. It was on. Whew. All right, guys, check this out. We got it done so quick. This is about the third cast, I think it was, And
I didn't make it outside.
I know, Jocelyn was just chilling in the van before she could even see what I was doing. And bam, we hooked up on a nice king salmon. There's been guys here that's been fishing for a couple hours with no bites, but we got it done. I'm gonna just gut this because this one is a female and I can tell it's got a lot of roe. We're gonna make some ikura for sure. So I'm gonna just take the roe out, put it in the some containers, and then we'll take it to our camp for tonight and we'll fillet it over there. It's pretty thick. There we go. There's the roe. Yeah. Look how big this roe is. Like the size of the roe is so nice. Alright, let's try to do this without losing any. There we go. There's one. Heck yeah. Oh, this is so nice. Heck yes. Oh, nice. Oh my gosh. That's so perfect. Alright, take the rest of the guts out. Oh, I'm so surprised that the meat is still like really bright orange.
Yeah.
Usually the females, they get pale because they put all their energy into producing the eggs. But this one is still really nice.
Did she put a good fight?
Yeah. Pretty decent. Almost took me up where all the other people are fishing. Alright, let's get to filleting on this salmon. Look at this nice, I measured it out, 34-inch salmon, and I weighed it after I took the roe out, took the guts out, the gills, and it was 12 pounds. So with everything in there, probably another 3 pounds, I would guess. So probably about 15 pounds. So I'm just gonna take the head off first. Now, too bad I'm not halibut fishing soon. Otherwise, I would keep the head and use it for bait again and get a big halibut. Just taking the head off. Still got the collar. Today with this salmon, I'm gonna try to do something special. I'm gonna try to smoke it whole. Not exactly whole, but butterflied. So in order for me to sort of butterfly this, we're gonna do a reverse butterfly actually. So that's butterflying on the belly side. So in order to do that, do the like this. So we come up here, and we're just basically gonna knock out the rib cage right here, all along there. And then just follow that. But we're not gonna cut all the way. We just have to be careful to not cut the skin on the other side. So now we're going to take out the whole spine here. In order to do that, I'm going to slide my knife right below the spine on this side. And we're going to cut through some bones here because we're cutting through the rib cage on this side. And be careful and try not to cut that meat there. Try to do it in less strokes so it'll look better that way. So we're just going to sort of saw but slice through. And all the way down to the tail, and we're just going to cut it off, cut the entire tail off as well. And we could scrape all the meat off of this again, but honestly there's not too much. Okay, let's continue. We're going to try to take the rib cage off here. I like that it's still like really vibrant orange even though it's been in the river for some time. You can tell because it was kind of colored up, starting to have a little pink hue to it, and they get pretty red once they go up really high into the river. Go under. I'm going to take the fin off as well, so I don't think we need that part. But you can tell this one came from the river because it's still starting to get real lean, and you can see the meat right here is starting to really break apart very easily. It's very fragile, and that's, you know, they start to deteriorate when they're in the rivers because especially these females, they're putting all their energy into the roe, producing the roe. Okay, well, there you have it. A reverse butterflied salmon. It's still attached completely. There you go. It's the back side. The fin's still on there. That's all good. And then there's the front, or there's the flesh. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to brine it. I'm going to make a little salt and sugar brine, real simple. I might put some chili flakes in there actually. And we're going to do a wet brine this time. And I have my bucket. Got my bucket. I cleaned it out. I washed it out with soap and everything. So it's nice and clean in there. We're going to make a wet brine, salt and sugar, some chili flakes, and hopefully this whole piece fits inside of here. So I'm just going to try the bucket. Let's see if it fits. So it turns out the bucket is way too small. Could have seen that coming. So let's just, we're going to make a brine inside of the Yeti. So I'm just going to measure with my hand. 1 handful, 2 hands full, and let's go 3. 3 hands, no, let's go for 4. And I'm using just cane sugar. You can use brown sugar. Brown sugar would work well for this as well. But let's go, we're going to go 5 handfuls of sugar. What was that? 3, 4, 5. You usually want to go a little bit heavier on the sugar than the salt. So let me do one more. Now I'm going to add some water. Make sure everything's all dissolved, and don't be afraid to taste your brine. The brine should be salty, yet a little sweet. I think it needs a little bit more salt. It needs to be salty to draw out the moisture. Once the ice dissolves, it's going to get a little diluted too. So we'll go to 2.5 more. And we'll do another handful of sugar. I'm going to add a bit of chili flakes to this. A little spicy brine. I think my spicy, sweet, salty brine is ready. I'll just slide this whole entire thing in here. Oh yeah, now that's perfect. Also, what you could do is lay a paper towel on top to make sure if anything comes above the water, it'll still be soaking in the brine. And we're gonna let that sit overnight. Never leave food outside while you're camping overnight. This is going in the van. Well, now it's the next morning, and now we're gonna make this contraption that's gonna hold the salmon over the fire, over the smoke. And I'm thinking I'm gonna use this stick as the main stick. And I kind of like it because it's a little bit bowed, and when you put it over the fire, it's gonna, you know, hang it a little bit more over the smoke. So I think this might work. The only hard part is gonna be I gotta split this wood right in half perfectly without messing up. So I think that's gonna be the hardest part. And I have some other sticks here that I can break down into smaller pieces and put as my cross beams, and that'll support the salmon as well. Let's give it a shot. Right down the middle. Going well so far. I think that's pretty good. Alright, let's take a look at our salmon. This is one heavy piece of salmon. So hopefully this works. So the salmon looks good, feels a little bit more firm now. And that's the idea with the salt, to firm it up. Because these ones, once they get in the river, like I said, they get kind of mushy. So we're gonna put the salmon. So that's it right there. And then we'll put the cross beams and it'll support the flaps. So with these ones, I wedged the stick in with the salmon, so it's pretty sturdy there. And with the one down here, it's the one underneath is wedged in. So, and I'm just tying the ends with some fishing line. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. So I've made a hole right near the tail, and I just want to keep it up, keep it from sliding down. So I'm gonna put that down like so, and I'm gonna tie around this line. Make sure I just heard something in the bushes. Make sure there's no bears coming at me. Oh, not too bad. Take a look at that. Heck yeah, that's pretty good. Okay guys, I think this is gonna work. I think I'm just gonna put a little bit more chili flakes on here. And you know, this is my guitar. Alright, check this out. Fits right in the grate. Oh yes. Oh yeah, bro. Oh yeah. And I think we're gonna pretty much have to let this smoke for the rest of the day. Okay guys, it's looking good. It's been about 4.5 hours now, and it's had constant smoke, and the meat is starting to feel fairly firm. It's has a little softness to it still. The back, the skin is completely dry, nice and leathery. It's looking good, but I think it's still gonna need another couple hours. This meat right here, it's really thick, so it's gonna take a while for that smoke to penetrate. Man, if you guys thought Alaska was cold all the time, that's completely wrong. It's so hot right now. And I feel like it's hotter than the Bay Area. It's like 80 degrees at least. And it's hot. Alright, it's been at this position the whole time, but now I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna take this out, and I think I'll just put it like this. A little bit closer to the smoke. Since the wind is just blowing all the smoke away, this would make sure that it's still getting a lot of smoke, and it's not too hot in there. There's no fire at all, it's just smoking, so it's perfect. I'm gonna flip this over. Whoa! Let's see. Well, it could go a little bit longer. Okay, well, what I was gonna do to finish it off, before I finish it off, made a little whiskey honey glaze. So I think I'll just brush some of that on. And I think I'll just do one side of it. Let's see if we can flip this back over without breaking off. Looks good. We'll just let that go for maybe half an hour and it's done. We had a casualty. We saved most of it though. Alright guys, it's done. Alright, let's cut this all off and reveal our salmon. So on this piece, I put the stick between the split one on the back side. And I think doing it on the meat side is better, because that could happen if you stick it on the back side. Get out of here, flies. Oh, sheesh, that looks good. This piece here. Oh my gosh, it's so oily. Mmm. Mmm. I think these collars are gonna be delicious. This is literally so juicy still. Look at that. My gosh. It's dripping. It is dripping. Just take a look at this. Just falls apart. Smoked so perfectly. Damn, that's good. Damn, that's good. I like the chili flakes on there. Gives a nice little kick. Mmm. In the brine. I think I could have either left it in the brine a little bit longer or made it a little bit saltier. But it's really good. Because the thicker pieces don't have as much of that, the brine flavor. Just that the belly piece, the collars. Oh my gosh, it's perfect. Mm. Go ahead, try it. That piece is buttery.
Mm-hmm. The texture is different than...
Like a regular hot smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is...
It's like in between.
Yeah, like an in-between, pretty much.
Oh, it is very oily.
It's so fatty. Yeah, I can feel just the oil just coat my mouth.
Yeah.
Even though this fish is like coming up the river, it's still it's got so much fat.
I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah, I'm guessing these fish are going really far up the river, so they have to have a lot of fat storage.
Yeah. Oh.
It's like a copper river king,
Ew.
which I want to get too, but we haven't had the chance to go for that copper river kings. Heard the season wasn't all that good for them. But
Ooh, drippy.
drippy, I know. It's so good. It's juicy. I know. Yeah, that was the collar piece. The collar was just
nice.
That's a nice piece.
Mm-hmm.
Oh right, one last thing. That was well worth it. Thank you guys for watching this episode. If you liked the video, make sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and if you haven't seen the rest of our Alaskan adventures, check them out. But more to come on next week on Taco Tuesday. See you guys. Peace.